Hi, kindergarten. So for today's Little Red Hen Wit and Wisdom lesson, we're going to continue to explore different story elements, all right? So yesterday, we began by discussing the characters of the story from the Little Red Hen. Here's my little handout, and it shows the characters. There's the hen, the pig, the goat, the rat, and the dog, okay? Every story has characters. We also discussed yesterday the setting. That's another story element that we've focused on this year. The setting for this story took place on a farm. So here's a picture of the setting of the story, all right? Okay, a couple other story elements that are on my list here include events, that's things that happen during the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story, and the problem resolution from the story, all right? Yesterday we also talked about shades of meaning, and we explored the words snip, chop, and cut. Remember, those words all are similar in meaning, but they're a little bit different, okay? So today we're going to talk about some of the events that took place in this story, and maybe we'll look at a little bit at the problem and the resolution of the story. So we're going to look back, all right? So here's a picture of Little Red Hen's house, and you can see the farm in the background, all right? All right, so that's the beginning. She wakes up. She's a hard-working hen, and she's looking for berries and worms for her young ones, her chicks, and she finds the seeds. There's not just one seed, there's a lot of seeds. And she asks her friends what they are, and they tell her that they are wheat seeds that you could turn into to bread. And here's when we find the first problem in the story. She asks the other animals to help her plant them, and they all tell her no. So that's the problem. None of the animals want to help her. Okay? The dog won't even help her dig. So to solve the problem, she does it by herself. Okay? Some time passes. And I know some time passes because the seeds turn into wheat that is ready to be harvested. And then she goes back to her animal friends and asks them to help. And they all tell her no. She says it's time to cut down the wheat. She asks the rat to help for sure because she says with her tail she could chop down the wheat really easily, and the rat tells her no. Remember, chop and cut and snip are all close in meaning. So, how does she solve the problem? She does it herself. Same events keep happening throughout the story. She asks the goat to help her transport the wheat because he has a cart and he's big and strong, and he tells her no. How does she solve it? Well, she does it by herself. And the miller's so impressed, he gives her some free jam to go with her flour. She asks them to help bake the bread, even the pig, who likes to bake. And they tell her no. So how does she solve the problem? Well, she does it herself. And then when it's time to eat, they all want to eat. Remember, the aroma is circling the barnyard. Okay? We talked about multiple meanings for words. Okay? Circle could mean a shape or it could mean a direction. And they all want to come and eat. And she tells them, you didn't help me do anything, so no, I'm eating it myself. And they all look upset. So the problem was that none of the animals would help her. And the solution was she did it by herself. And those were some of the events throughout the story. Okay? All right. So I have a new word put up here in a box. It says plurals. Plural means more than one. All right? More than one. So in the story, let's look at some examples in the story to understand what plurals mean. All right. How many red hens were there? Well, there was one. So we would write just the word hen to show one. Okay? Hen. H-E-N. Now, if we wanted to write and show that there was more than one hen, all we do is add an S to the end. Adding an S to the end of a word turns it into a plural. It means it's more than one. One hen, more than one, or two hens. So we add an S at the end. See my S there at the end? All right. When she went digging for worms, She didn't find one seed. Nope. It says she came upon some strange seeds. So look at the picture. There's more than one. So they put an S at the end of the word seed to show more than one. Plural means more than one. And to show that with your writing, you add an S to the end of a word. So I'm going to write seed again, but this time I'm going to put an S and I'll underline it. One hen, more than one hens. One seed, 10 seeds. So to show plural, you add an S to the end of the word. All right. Okay. There was only one dog in the story. So I'm going to write the word dog. Only one dog. If there was more than one dog, we would say there were many dogs. Hear that S sound at the end? So we would add an S to the end. And that's how you show more than one, by adding that S, dogs. And that's what plural means, more than one. There's a response activity for you to explore plurals. It looks like this. You have to look at the picture and decide whether it is hen or hens. If there's only one, there's no S at the end of the word. Seed or seeds. Dog or dogs. So your job is to use the word bank and write the correct word to match the picture to show if there's only one or if there's more than one, which means plural. When you're done with that, please post your work on Seesaw for Mr. D and Chef Biscotti.